What is up, guys? Pup T from Life, Liberty, and the Homestead. And on this video, we're going to talk about free-range chickens and free-range turkeys. Let's get this video started, baby. Woo! Alright, guys, like in the intro, I said we're going to talk about free-range chickens and free-range poultry. And I just want to make this clear that it's free-ranging any of your farm animals, livestock, poultry, stuff like that may not be beneficial to you, and you may not have the ability to do it. However, on our homestead, we do have the ability to allow our chickens and turkeys, guineas to free range. But the first thing I want to talk about is Bambi's hoof steel. Now, I've tried this stuff, the Epsom salt poultice. I also have tried this clay stuff, packing it on her hoof. It's just not working. So I did some research, and what I had learned is you can, if you use copper sulfate crystals, what that does will dry up the wound and also will start to encourage hoof growth. It's kind of hard to say. And with this, you leave it on the wound for a week to 10 days, and then you check it again. If it needs more, it needs more, right? With Bambi, I mean, she's had this now for, couple months now. I've given everybody except Max and Moo Moo a round of antibiotics. All of the goats, besides those two, have had 5 days. Free-range chickens. So they've all had 5 days worth of antibiotic. The LA 200. Okay, Rooster, I'm trying to bid ya. Hold her down a little bit, buddy. What I'm gonna try now is the copper sulfate. Now, I've also seen that there is a vaccine for sheep for hoof rot. That's what she has. I mean, and how you know they have hoof rot is it's one of the worst smells ever, honestly. And another thing I've been doing since I've locked up the majority of these goats is keeping fresh hay in the stall with them. Now, they do eat some of it, but if I can keep hay in here, one, any of their, feces and stuff will drop and go into the hay, but it'll also work its way down, and the hay on top will be dry and stuff like that. But so about every other day, every third day, I have been putting in hay inside all the goats' pens that are pinned up. And today I just let Frankie out. So I'm gonna get her hoof, put this copper sulfate on it, wrap it, and then check it again in a week. I'm really hoping this is the trick. That's it. So we'll see. Like I said, I mean, whoo, if you've ever smelt death, it's exactly what it smells like. And also, from a little bit of the research I've gone over, essentially that's kind of what it is, right? It's the hoof, and then the stuff under it is it's infected. It's so bad. Woo. Put that on there. 7 days from now, I'm going to come in here and I'll check her foot again. It's just cotton, copper sulfate. We shall see. It's supposed to dry up the wound and encourage hoof growth. And now Butter, she's still favoring her foot. And honestly, I'm not quite sure why. When I put everybody in the pens, I trimmed her hoofs, Bambi's, I believe Mama's, and those were the ones that I trimmed. And I looked at Butters and I don't see anything wrong other than her hoofs kind of splay out versus folding over. So I'm not really sure what that's about, but I'm gonna continue to watch that just so, you know, good husbandry, making sure she's good to go. Anyway, so let's get back to talking about free range chicken. And it's been a couple days since I started filming that video, and I've had some more time to think about, you know, free range chickens. And I want to start off kind of with like the cons of it. So one of the cons with having any animal free range is exactly what it says, right? They're able to come and go essentially as they please. And that's how we have it with the turkeys, the chickens, and the guineas. So the con to that is you're not always aware of how many chickens you have, where your chickens are located. Having that or not having the ability to know where your chickens are could cause you stress, right? Like you pay good money for some chickens. Let's say you pay $6 a piece for day-old chickens, and you get, we'll just say 6 chickens. That's $36. Well, your plan with them is to have them lay eggs or reproduce, so you don't have to purchase any more chickens for the future. Now, if they're free range, you may not know exactly where those chickens have gone. So, you see this? This is why I don't like cats. One of the reasons. This one is needy as all can be, which most people would love to have a needy cat, but I don't particularly care for cats. My favorite's Mary Cat. We have this understanding. But anyway, back to not knowing where your chickens are. And there's ways to somewhat prevent that. And I talked about that as far as training them to the coop. Ashley, stop. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Jeez Louise. Anyway, so one of those things is training them to the coop. So you lock them up. I mean, when they're day-old chickens, you're not having them out running around anywhere, right? You're having them in a brooder and all that other stuff. But if you get older chickens, let's say from an auction or whatever, you got to put them in the coop where you want them to be, where you want them to lay eggs, where you want them to roost at night. You put them in there, and you'll keep them in there for 7 to 10 days. And then once you release them, you need to verify that they're going back inside that coop. So like with us, the first time we put the chickens in there, I think we had them in there for 7 days and checked on them the night, probably the 8th night, right? And a lot of the chickens were just everywhere. So we locked them up again for another 7 days. And then after that, we opened it up, released it, and those chickens then started going into the coop where we wanted them to be at night. So that's one con to free range chickens. The second con to that, and it kind of goes with the coop, is the where they lay their eggs. So if you're trying to have an egg production, of course, free ranging your chickens is probably not the best idea for you as well. But that doesn't mean you can't do it. And it also, oh guineas, there must be trouble. Guineas are loud, so if you ain't got guineas, they are loud. But I like them. And they'll lay eggs wherever. And our Rhode Island red chickens, I try to do ya. Everybody's being loud. So the thing is like our Rhode Island red chickens, they have, for the longest time, they've been going out towards the range and hanging out there. So they've been probably laying eggs down there. Couldn't tell you. I didn't go into the brush where they're at. So I didn't bother with it that much. But let me show you. So I have this trailer, and in the trailer, oh, oh, I'm gonna get rid of you, dude. Golly, cats. Anyway, so we had hay in this trailer, and this is the hay that we've been giving the goats, and this is what the chickens have been doing. They will lay their egg in the hay wherever they want because they're free range. Again, for us, I mean, we have an abundant supply of eggs right now, and it's not like that all year round. It really just happened over the past like 2 months, I would say, where all the chickens have started to lay. Anyway, if I say anyway one more time because of you, I'm gonna put you in with the Rottweilers. So we have an abundance of eggs now. Now, again, that's only happened recently over the past couple months. Before that, we would have maybe 6 eggs a day, which again, that's perfect for us. But now we're probably getting anywhere between a dozen to a dozen and a half of eggs. So now another con to free range chickens. And if you walk with me, we have free range chickens, right? These chickens are out roaming about, probably little care in the world. Right inside there's where the Rhode Island Reds have been hanging out, laying eggs, stuff like that. So with them being free ranged, again, they're able to go wherever they want, right? I mean, look at these turkeys. These turkeys are free range, all up on top of the roof. Guineas are up there. Not a big deal for us. The one problem with having them free range and be able to really go wherever they want, when they go out there, they have a higher probability of being taken by a predator. So that's the 3 main cons. I kind of want to start with the cons. In my opinion, those are the 3 main cons, because I believe the pros to this are really where having free range chickens is worth it. The first pro that I would say with having free range chickens is your feed cost for those chickens or poultry in general. You can really cut it down by half, even possibly 3/4. So during the spring, the summer, and the fall, the chickens will really get out there and they'll be searching for bugs. So if they can get out there and find bugs and eat on grass and all that other stuff, they won't eat as much as the layer pellets or whatever feed that you're giving them throughout each day. Because I mean, we still put food out, we just don't have to put nearly as much. We have over 30 chickens, or somewhere close to 30 chickens, something like that. And because they go out and they forage and they get all the bugs and they eat the grass, and I mean, one thing is they'll also kill mice. So, which if you've never seen that, I mean, they go wild over these mice. Anytime there's a mouse in the pole barn, if a chicken can get to it, I mean, they'll eat it up all day. And our dog Doc, he's also a mouser. So he'll actually go chase mice, kill them, and then just leave them. And the chickens will come behind and they'll clean up the mess. Now with the cats, which you see Ashley all over me, they'll do the same thing where they chase the mice and kill them. I'm not sure if they're eating them. I'm really not even sure if they're killing them just yet. I have been watching them do their little stalk stuff, so that's pretty cool. But back to the pros. If you can have it to where you're not having to pay as much in feed to keep chickens, then your cost, so let's say you are selling eggs, let's say you're selling a dozen for $2. Well, if you're only having to spend, let's say $2, let's just say $2 a week on actual feed, or we'll just say even a day, if you're selling the eggs and you're getting a dozen a day, but you're feeding all your chickens on $2 a day, you get break even, right? If you can cut it down further to where you're only having to feed them, we'll just say $1 worth, well, now you're making $1 on every dozen eggs that you sell. So being able to be out here in free range, they can eat off of your land. And again, I know that's not everybody has that ability. Not everybody has X amount of acres to where they can allow their animals to free range and stuff like that. Some people have to keep them in a coop with a chicken run. I get it. That's how we started. And we started that way because that's just how we thought it had to be done, because we wanted eggs and all this other stuff. And like I've said on this video and other videos, or I've said in general, our first 10 chickens we got were all roosters, so we weren't getting eggs anyway. But if you have them in a chicken run and you have them in a coop, I would definitely try to make it mobile so that every few days you can move that coop and the chicken run to allow your chickens to get grass and eat the bugs and all that other stuff. The second pro to having free range chickens is, like, this is Debbie's field right here. We got pigs, goats, sheep, turkey, all kinds of chickens in here, right? Well, when they use the bathroom, especially with their feces, the chickens will go through and scratch through the pigs, sheep sometimes, and goat stuff sometimes, and get any bugs or whatever. So, like, say a fly lands on a pile of feces, lay eggs or whatever, them chickens will go through it, scratch through it, eat the larvae, and then they'll also spread that fertilizer, which they'll spread the feces, which turns into fertilizer, right? So they'll actually fertilize the land in which they're on. So the more chickens you have and the more free range you can have them, the more land that they have the ability to fertilize for you. And again, it's not everybody can do that, so I understand that. These are just the pros and cons that I believe from my experience on why we enjoy having them be free range. Now, another reason we enjoy having them free range, and it goes with what I just talked about as far as, getting the bugs and stuff like that. We allow our chickens to free range literally wherever they want to go. And if you knew the people who drive down my street, it probably drives them crazy sometimes, especially because of our turkeys. But they'll be out on the road. And what they do, though, is they get all the bugs and all that stuff in and around the house all the time. So they'll get in to all the bugs around the house, except in the actual backyard, because if they did that, they'd be Rottweiler dinner. But they go and they get all the bugs. The guineas get ticks, and the chickens will eat whatever bugs are out there. The turkeys will eat whatever bugs are out there. So it reduces the amount of bugs on our property as far as in the non-timber area, right? Now, I'm not saying we don't have chickens and turkeys that have gone into that timber area, but all of them that have gone in there, as best I know, have never come back out. So it's best if they stay in the open areas. But that reduces the bugs. So, if we're out or I'm out or whatever, and I'm on the tractor and I'm out mowing the grass or weed eating or just doing work out here, I generally don't worry about ticks and stuff in this area because of the chickens and the turkeys and all that other stuff, because they go through and they eat all that stuff up. Now, the last pro for us, and why we really enjoy it is because to us it's more natural for the chicken. It's more natural for the turkeys. With allowing them to go and do what they got to do, go where they want to go, the chickens always seem to be fairly happy. And this year, I don't think we've had any sick chickens past the point of, like some of the ones we got from auction, they passed away. But once they kind of got through that quarantine and were here on this property, we haven't had any sick chickens. Now, I do have one of our turkeys. She does have a respiratory infection, and thanks to Cog Hill, love that show, love those guys. But they showed on theirs, one of their red bourbons had a like respiratory sinus infection or whatever, and it had this bubble. Sure enough, the next day I come out, one of our turkeys has that. But been giving it antibiotics, and it looks to be doing a lot better. But we feel it's more natural for them, right? So they can live a happy life, and they can come and go as they please. Yeah, we'd like them to stay around forever, their whole lives and be on the property. But I also understand that for the turkeys, if they want to go run off and end up mating with wild turkeys and let's say being with wild turkeys, I mean, that's what they should do, right? I mean, again, I would like to have them stay, and I think they will, but you always have that possibility. So, and I would say, again, the overall kind of cohesiveness that we get from having our animals be generally all free ranged is they grow up together and they understand each other, and these chickens may stay away from these chickens, or these chickens may stay away from these turkeys, or whatever it is. They have this symbiotic relationship that they end up learning how to deal with one another. One of the things with having like a cat, you got to worry about it eating your chickens. Well, luckily so far we haven't had that happen. Livestock guardian dog, that's another thing I worry about, is them eating chickens and turkeys and stuff like that. But I think we have an abundance of this stuff, and plus, especially with goat, we just tell him no, mine, and try to correct him and stuff like that. So, turkey. Turkey. But yeah, we just like them to be out free ranging. I don't know if that's what you do on your homestead, your farm. I don't know if it's something that would work for you. And again, we would change it up according to what we were trying to do. If we were raising chickens to be broilers, or if we were raising chickens just for like egg production, then yes, we would have them in a mobile coop with a chicken run so they couldn't go anywhere except where we wanted them to go. But being that we don't have that concern, and that's not what we're doing right now, and that's always subject to change. We're not doing that right now. We enjoy having them free range. So what do you guys think? Do you think free ranging them is the best way to do it? On your homestead, do you have it where you have to keep them in a chicken run, or you have to do different things in order to ensure the safety of your chickens? I mean, and again, it's all case by case based, right? Because again, for us, I mean, we have 7 dogs. 7 dogs. The likelihood of a coyote, a fox, even a raccoon coming up here, I mean, knock on wood, right? We haven't had that issue. And I think it has to do with the amount of dogs that we have. We have one dog that just runs the property. Now we have the livestock guardian dog. He's still a puppy. He's learning. But I will tell you, I came one day and it was still dark out, and I was coming up to the fence, and he let me know he was there. So I was like, awesome, And then, of course, the 5 dogs that we have in the backyard and inside and stuff like that, coyotes know they're there, so they don't mess with coming this close as of yet. I mean, again, coyote's hungry, he'll come over here, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna end it with one more con, and that's the con. So depending on how many roosters you have to keep a healthy balance. So sometimes, depending on how you purchase your chickens, you might not know what you're getting at first. Or if you don't get where you're just purchasing hens, you could end up like we did from Tractor Supply with nothing but roosters. And roosters can be loud, and if you have an abundance of roosters, they will go after the hens all the time. So that's one thing you gotta to think about as well. That's probably the last content. Everything else has just been a pro to us. We really enjoy it. And yeah, see, I'll show you some more. See, oh, that's just chickies, the turkeys, free ranging, going where they want. It's pretty neat. So I encourage you, if you have the ability to do it, free range them. You'll see the cost benefits to it. Like I said, reducing the amount of money you pay on feed, but maybe you're raising them for eggs, so just might not be the thing for you. But that's gonna be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had fun making it over the past couple days, thinking about it some more and doing my own little research and talking with the wild one and how we really enjoy it. I just wanted to bring it to you, let you guys know how we do it and why we do it. But one last time, guys, if you could, go over there, hit that subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. Give me some wild comments. Y'all are crazy. I love you. We love you. We'll see you on the next video.